موجود المايكروفون بس على الوسطاني. الو 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 تست تست. اوكي تست تست. تست تست. اوكي تست تست. اوكي تمام. اوكي
مساكم الله بالخير جميعا ومرحبا بكم في إحاطتنا لهذا الأسبوع. نبدأ بلقاءات حضرة صاحب السمو أمير البلاد المفدى خلال هذا الأسبوع، حيث التقى يوم الاثنين أو تلقى حضرة صاحب السمو أمير البلاد المفدى اتصالا هاتفيا من فخامة الرئيس جو بايدن رئيس الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، استعرض معه العلاقات الاستراتيجية بين البلدين الصديقين والموضوعات ذات الاهتمام المتبادل، كما تمت مناقشة آخر تطورات الأوضاع في قطاع غزة والأراضي الفلسطينية المحتلة وجهود الوساطة المشتركة المستمرة لإنهاء الحرب على القطاع، إضافة إلى التطورات الإقليمية والدولية ذات الاهتمام المشترك. وفي ذات اليوم التقى سموه بسعادة سيد بريت ماجورك منسق شؤون الشرق الأوسط وشمال أفريقيا في مجلس الأمن القومي الأمريكي، وسعادة سيد ستيف ويتكوف مبعوث الرئيس الأمريكي المنتخب فخامة السيد دونالد ترامب إلى الشرق الأوسط. وطبعا جرى خلال هذه الاجتماعات مناقشة أهم تطورات الوضع الإقليمي، وعلى رأس ذلك طبعا المفاوضات المستمرة بين حركة حماس وإسرائيل. وفي يوم الأمس كذلك التقى سموه بوفد حركة المقاومة الإسلامية الفلسطينية حماس برئاسة الدكتور خليل الحية
by Dr. Khalil Haya, and His Highness has repeated our Qatar's stance towards the support of the Palestinian people and the establishment of their state based on the borders of 1967. As for the meetings of and the participations related to Syria, His Excellency the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs Mohammed Abdurrahman Al-Thani, he has participated in a ministerial meeting, and he has reiterated the Qatari stance in terms of supporting the Syrian people and the establishment of their country. And continuing the air bridge that we are having with Syria, on Monday we have the airplane number 10 reached Damascus International Airport carrying 37 tons of food aids and supplies provided by Qatar Development Fund. And the communications are continuing regarding the situation in Gaza, as His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdurrahman Al-Thani had a phone call with His Excellency Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of UN, and they have discussed the updates related to Gaza and Palestine and the news of the mediation efforts, and His Excellency had confirmed the support of Qatar state for the negotiation. On Friday, His Excellency, the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, met his Steve Witkoff, the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, special envoy to the Middle East. His Excellency Mariam Bidali, the Minister of State for International Cooperation, he has met also the UN Assistant Secretary General for Europe, Central Asia and America, Mislav Janika, and the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs is going to tomorrow is going to Lima to Mbiro, so to have a meeting with the Deputy Minister of Economy in Mbiro to on Friday, on the 17th of January, His Excellency will reach to Santiago in Chile, as he's going to have His Excellency Alberto Venkatov, the President of Chile, and I am sure that you have lots of questions this week. We'll start with Kalam Pelin.
Majed, thank you for the opportunity to ask a question. We've seen President Biden say that a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza is close now. How would you characterize proximity to a deal for a ceasefire in Gaza? And if one is close, how would you characterize perhaps an aspect of jeopardy in this moment? We've been close to deals before. We've had a temporary truce that didn't result in a ceasefire. If these talks don't result in a deal in the short term, can they continue?
Well, Callum, first of all, I can confirm that the talks are going on the highest level here in Doha as we speak right now. We are anticipating updates from those involved in the meetings. As you have seen, in various reports and statements by officials here in Doha and beyond, we do believe that we were able, through the negotiations and with our partners in these negotiations in Egypt and the United States, to minimize a lot of the disagreements between both parties. The talks that are ongoing now are on the final details of reaching an agreement. However, and as you rightly mentioned, Kalam, it is very important not to over or raise the expectations to a level that doesn't link to what's happening on the ground right now. We do believe that we are at a developed stage. We do believe that we are at the final stages, but obviously until there is an announcement, there will be no announcement, and therefore we shouldn't be overexcited about what's happening right now, but certainly we are hopeful that this would lead very soon to an agreement, and in that we appreciate the roles of both the Biden administration, represented here by Mr. Brett McGurk, and the incoming Trump administration and President Trump himself, and of course Mr. Steve Witkoff, who is here with us in Doha and participating in these talks. The meetings that have taken place here in Doha are productive. They are positive, and we hope to hear some developments. Obviously, we have said this for months. This war should have been over a long time ago. The humanitarian cost of the ongoing war is unbearable and continues to be unbearable for the people of Gaza and for the stability and security of this region. And therefore, we again say and call on both parties to seriously engage in the negotiations, which is happening right now, and we do applaud the fact that the negotiations are taking place, but we also are urging both sides to end this now and sign the agreement as soon as possible, so the people in Gaza can have the respite that they need, and both the hostages and prisoners can get back to their families, and life in this region and stability in this region can have a moment of clarity that is much needed. Adnan?
Question is just to detect where we reach it exactly, if we can. So, as Reuters has said, based on a responsible source, that the two delegations, they have received the draft of the agreements. Is there any kind of additional conversation or negotiation about the specific details? And can we know these details? As you know, Adnan, we don't dig deep into details of what's happening during these negotiations, but we can confirm that the two drafts have been delivered to both parts, and we have mitigated lots of challenges that used to stop both sides to reach a mutual agreement, but we can't disclose any kind of details or where we are standing right now in terms of reaching the final. But we can say that we have overcome these basic challenges, as Reuters said yesterday, that the negotiation that had been carried out by the U.S. Special Envoy and the Prime Minister and the Egyptian side, as I said, the negotiations are being carried out now in Doha, and it's currently held, and all the parts are here in Doha as their previous negotiation, and we are looking forward to hearing from them the most updated news. As I understood that we are not going to have a declaration today or announcement of reaching an agreement. There are some information that today evening is going to be a declaration about reaching an agreement. My question is, if you are going to reach an agreement and sign it, when it's going to be the ceasefire? We are going to announce the agreement, and then we're going to announce the date of the ceasefire. It's very difficult, as you know all, that to can just specify a time frame for the ceasefire, but we can say that we are as close as possible, comparing to any time point before, to reaching a ceasefire, and we are looking forward to have this very, very close, as we said before. These negotiations we are currently being held but we are very optimistic about it. Please use the mic. Sabr Ayub from Al-Arabi TV. We respect the stance of the Qatari mediator regarding not declaring any details to keep this negotiation private, but maybe some general points wouldn't stop the negotiation. Among them is the delivering the draft agreement to the two parties. Did you receive any kind of positive signs, especially from the Israeli side, that they have agreed to the agreement? And did at least now you are talking about or discussing when is it going to be executed, these temporary ceasefire, at least in terms of timing? And also another question related to the body of Yahya al-Sinwar is going to be part of the among the conditions of Hamas to exchange the hostages with the prisoners. Is it, was this like one of the lines of the negotiations? Did Israel accept that? Also, these meetings that are currently being held in Doha, are related to the mechanisms of execution, or are they discussing the lines of the draft agreement? We start with the last question because you asked so many questions. For the mechanisms of executions and agreement, we have some pending details between the two parts. These details, the most of it is related to execution, but I cannot say more than these pending details we are currently discussing in these meetings, and we are exchanging views about how to sort these minor issues, and we are hoping that we would receive a positive update about them. As for the body of Yahya al-Sinwar, I can't dig deep into the details or of negotiations about this item, but I want to stay away from these partial explanations that might be confusing a little bit. We are talking now about a draft agreement that have been delivered to the two sides, and there is a positive engagement in the negotiation process, and we are removing the main barriers, and I don't think that it's suitable now to talk about this item in particular. In terms of the time of execution, it is related exclusively to when we are going to announce the execution of the agreement, and then I think it's going to be within a short time after reaching the agreement, but not at the time of the declaration. And we don't have a time framework, but if it's it is left to me or to you, we would declare it straight away right now, but we can't do this.
What is it that makes it more likely that there's going to be a ceasefire deal now than previously? Is it the imminent change of the administration in the US and the arrival of Donald Trump concentrating minds?
A question I would like to answer after announcing that there is an agreement. Let me rephrase your question, if I may, and just answer the question of why are we more optimistic right now. So the main reason why we are more optimistic right now is, as I said, during the past months there were underlying issues, major issues between the two parties unresolved. These issues were resolved during the talks in the past couple of weeks, and therefore we have reached a point where the major issues that were preventing a deal from happening were addressed, and we have language pertaining to these issues that has been distributed between both parties. We especially appreciate the roles of both the Biden administration and the incoming Trump administration in the talks in the past couple of weeks. They have been involved fully in the talks. As I said, from the Biden administration and the incoming administration, they were working in tandem together here in Doha and beyond in the region to make sure that a deal happens. And we appreciate statements by both President Biden and President-elect Trump that were helpful in pushing the deal forward. And we are, of course, working with our partners in the US all through the transition period, and making sure that the transition period will be useful and helpful in this case. So we certainly appreciate the role of both administrations, outgoing and incoming administration, and I can affirm that both of them are working very closely on this right now in Doha.
شكرا دكتور ماجد وكالة الروسية.
Thank you, Dr. Majed. From the Russian agency, are the mediators, Egypt, Qatar, and US are going to be guarantors to execute the agreement? And what are these guarantees? And to follow up on the question, what is the stance of Qatar state regarding sending Arab common forces to Gaza? As for the second question, that we have confirmed our stance that we should end the occupation in Gaza and all the Palestinian territories, and that we the decision is the Palestinian decision, and in Gaza and all Palestine is Palestinian. Talking about how to the administration is going to be during the temporary stage after reaching the agreement is a bit complicated talk, and we cannot disclose lots of information about that, and we can just confirm that we are open to the who is going to administer and help who is going to whoever is going to administer the transitional period as being a Palestinian side. And we have talked about the negotiation that we should have like guarantors, international ones, to guarantee the execution of the agreement, to follow up on the execution, and we have like an operation house, that operation room that similar to the operation room that here on Doha, that was following up on the exchange and the follow up as well in Egypt to guarantee the delivering the humanitarian aid to Gaza, and this follow up is very important. And the three partners, Qatar, Egypt, and US, are highly committed to confirm the success of any agreement that we reach to. Another question here. Can you please use the mic? There are some information that there are kinds of arrangements so that His Excellency Prime Minister is going to visit the mosque. Is there any kind of arrangement for this highly esteemed visit, or no? We're going to announce any news related to any kind of visit. I don't have any information about any kind of visit of such type. I want to redraft the question. Please use the mic. According to your information, Doctor, the technical pending issues that are being discussed now, there are lots of follow-up about the time of the declaration of the announcement. Some sources say that's going to be by the end of this week or today. What are the type of technical issues, technical pending issues, that the nature of this technical issue would just give us a hint about the time frame in any type of this kind of negotiation, but not between these two parts, but in any type in any such a kind of negotiation. There are always a kind of technical issues that can suspend the agreement a bit, but we are very confident the main issues that used to stop the agreement have been already sorted out, and this is invite us for optimization that the time frame is shorter, but we cannot declare that our time frame for that unless we have material information about it. Khalid Atawalba, as we have this kind of opening and we have reached advanced stage, is there any kind political forces that are pushing on the opposite side or trying to induce Qatar to stop this kind of mediation efforts, as we have seen some critical voices in Israel today that they call this kind of agreement as an agreement of surrender, and there are some sides of Gaza who are refusing this agreement. Well, we are dealing here with the formal parts and our regional partners and international, and what we have received is a complete support of the mediation efforts by U.S. and the Egyptian side. And you must have heard the positive news about that there might be a kind of local discourse or narrative on the two sides. We are not so concerned about this local narrative unless they turn into a challenge during the negotiation. What we have now is positive from the two sides, and we believe that the general atmosphere is positive. But the local political narrative, we leave it for the two sides as far as it doesn't affect the negotiation. Yes, Saber. Maybe I will repeat my question, but in another way to be able to understand the situation without digging deep into detail. The current meetings right now, does it rediscuss again what have been agreed upon in terms of items and lines that have been included in the draft agreement that got delivered to the two parts, or is it related to the meetings are related to the execution mechanism? So we can be optimistic about that if it for example related to the maps or where they are going to exchange the hostage and the prisoners, and how to enter or the pathways for delivering the humanitarian aids. And another question, the consultation in Cairo, are they related directly to what's happening in Doha, or what's happening in Cairo is like related to the procedures related to the second or third stage of the agreement? I will leave the commenter in terms of the negotiation of what's about what's happening in Egypt, but we are having this kind of a complete coordination between the different parts and our colleagues in Egypt. They are partners of these negotiations, and I hope that Sabri would enter into a negotiation process to just realize that the tiniest, the minutest piece of detail can turn at any time to be a big challenge to any negotiation, and that's why we are talking today that we have passed the biggest challenges, and it's a source of optimism. But it doesn't mean that we have reached the end of the negotiation. But we can have a big problem at as we are discussing the minute details that can turn into a challenge. But we have a special kind of optimism this time, and we hope that it will turn into a practical agreement. Another question. Can you please use the mic? We realized that the efforts of the Qatari mediation efforts, but some newspapers that they mentioned that there is a kind of mediation effort between Qatar, US, between US and Taliban. The mechanism of mediation by Qatar is continuing in different contexts, and some of them we just declare and announce about it, and we keep silent about others till we have a practical thing to announce. Yes, we are focusing on the negotiations that are happening between Hamas and Israel, but the mediation efforts in different internationally, regionally, or in terms of releasing the hostages or the family reunion because of the Ukrainian and the Russian war, and in Afghanistan we have also special efforts that we are doing, and since the Qatari mediation that led to the suspension of the war there in Afghanistan, and now we are working on the on the current government in Afghanistan, administration in Afghanistan, and the U.S. to reach common understanding related to the pending issues and in terms of exchanging the hostage and the prisoners. And we can just confirm that we are always working on international mediation efforts and different causes. Thank you so much, and we hopefully will meet again next week. Thank you. Sorry, hopefully we meet again before the next week.